So I want to play you some of this clip from Michael Moore, because I think this is what MSNBC is trying to essentially counter-program. Let's take a look.
And if we keep supporting, like I was listening earlier, and I was listening to, I have so much respect for Senator McCaskill here, and everyone cried when you were not returned last year.
Well, my husband's a Michigander, so we think you're pretty cool too.
Okay, well that's even better. but I want to redefine in the way that last time I was here, we talk about the working class, and I said the majority of the working class actually are women. People of color and young people are paid the least. So when we say working class, we're always evoking this image of Lunch Bucket Joe from Macomb County. The actual working class of 2019 is a 30-year-old black woman. That's really the working class. And when you say working class, I want everybody to always think now that's a 30-year-old black woman, because that is what the working class is. Just in the same way, I think that we have to, when you guys were talking about how we have to be more moderate or move to the center, that's how we're going to win next year. See, to me, I think moving to the center, I am the center. I am the mainstream now of the Democratic Party. The majority of Americans agree with me and Bernie on all the issues, whether it's health care for all, whether it's climate change, minimum wage, mass incarceration, go down the whole list. The American people have moved left. So the center is now more of these sorts of things. This is what we believe. So when you say that, like, for instance, with Joe Biden said tonight, 160 million Americans want to keep their private insurance. Says who? Are you actually talking to people about this? Yes, they want the assurance that whatever we have with the new Medicare for All is essentially just a transfer from what they have with their good union health care. It's going to be that, but it's going to be better for you, and you're not going to have copays and deductibles. Fine. But what the average Democrat and the average American does not like the health insurance company. They hate Aetna and Cigna and United Healthcare. These are people that they're fighting with to get them to pay a bill that they won't pay. The healthcare industry has caused more pain and harm and anxiety for the American people than practically any other industry. And we should never side with candidates that are going to say we're going to keep this private profit-making thing going. That's not where the American people are at. They are fed up with this. And I'll tell you, I got an earful of it back home in Flint last month when General Motors was on strike. Yep. What did the CEO of GM do on the third day of the strike? She took away their health care. She shut it down. They couldn't believe it. Nobody, I come from a GM family. GM, your health care, UAW employee, sure, it's everything, medical, dental, eye care. You even get a free lawyer if you need one. It's the best. And on the third day, they saw the thing that they thought they'd have forever could be taken away by the company like that. And that's what people need to know, that we can never allow our health insurance to be in the hands of a private profit-making company where they can end you tomorrow.
The great Michael Moore on MSNBC. By the way, Michael, if you're watching, feel free to return our calls on Flint. Just saying. Love you anyway, but, throw us a bone here, Michael. Throw us a bone. Why I wanted to play that is, first of all due respect, Michael, I don't know many people that were shedding a tear that Claire McCaskill lost in the Senate. And this is the point. Why does MSNBC and CNN parade on air loser after loser after loser who lost in the Senate? Claire McCaskill lost in the Senate running as the centrist moderate, and she lost. So why do we, the American people, why do you, the viewer, need to keep being lectured by very wealthy losers? And I don't say losers like, oh, what a loser. I mean people who lose elections over and over again. Why do we need to be told what the candidate needs to do to win? Why don't we go and ask people who actually won something what candidates need to do? I don't want to hear from Claire McCaskill what the Democratic nominee has to do. Because, by the way, this is who Elizabeth Warren is listening to, the Claire McCaskills of the world. And that's why she is, as I pick my nose, that's why she is sprinting as far to the center as possible. So I don't care what Claire McCaskill has to say. I care what the people on the ground listening and speaking with the people like Michael Moore care and hear. So I'm surprised, credit to MSNBC for allowing him to speak that long and allowing him to speak that truth. Because that is the truth. Michael Moore and us, we are the center. We are where the American people are. Claire McCaskill, Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, Chris Matthews, who I got some clips from him, they are the right wing now. They are the right wing. So, what's amazing to me is instead of actually, if MSNBC was smart, if MSNBC actually wanted more viewers, they would actually, what was their slogan many years ago? Lean forward. They would embrace the big progressive explosion going on around the country. They'd have Bernie supporters on. Sure, you want to have Warren supporters on, fine. They would have union workers. They would have people striking on. They would have poor people. They would have women on, people of color, whether it be auto workers, even coal workers, workers on, because that's where the energy is. But what MSNBC is doing is essentially trying to erase reality, which is not what a news networks are supposed to show the audience what is reality, what is happening on the ground. And they're doing that through, now they're trying to reignite the Russian boogeyman. Again, whether Russia is trying to influence the election, which they probably are, that's not the point. What MSNBC is trying to do, they're trying to make it seem like the reason that Tulsi Gabbard has support is because of Russia. Like somehow it's inflated because of Russia. When anyone who knows, I mean, I've criticized Tulsi Gabbard. She's not my number one candidate. There's some things that I find troubling with her. However, nobody could argue that she has a huge base of support having nothing to do with Russia. Nobody could argue that Bernie Sanders, dating back to 2016, even before that, has a massive movement behind him, more than any other candidate. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.